After the famous raid on Lindisfarne in 793, the Vikings continued to attack Britain. This raid marked the beginning of what would become a long period of Viking raids on monasteries, villages, and towns along the coast. These raids were often quick and brutal, taking the local people by surprise. The Vikings were skilled sailors, and their fast ships allowed them to strike suddenly before escaping back across the sea. For many years, the people of Britain had to live with the fear of the next Viking attack. The Vikings also began to settle in places like Orkney. These islands, located to the north of Scotland, were a perfect base for the Vikings. They were close to Britain, allowing the Vikings to continue their raids, but also far enough away that they were relatively safe from attack. The Vikings who settled in Orkney farmed the land, built homes, and made use of the islands as a strategic base for raids across the surrounding areas. Orkney became an important Viking territory for many years. The Vikings who attacked Lindisfarne appeared to have been from Norway. At the time, Norway was a land of fjords, mountains, and harsh winters, and there was not enough good farmland to go around. The Norwegian Vikings set out to explore, raid, and settle in other lands, driven by a need for more resources and wealth. The monasteries along the British coast, like Lindisfarne, were easy targets for these warriors. The rich treasures of the monasteries, combined with their lack of defences, made them tempting places for the Vikings to plunder. After the raid on Lindisfarne, the next major Viking attacks came from the Danish Vikings. The Danes, like the Norwegians, were looking for new opportunities, and Britain was a prime target. The Danish Vikings began to launch raids not just on monasteries, but on towns and villages as well. Eventually, they even started to settle in parts of Britain, creating what became known as the Danelaw, an area where Danish law and customs were followed. The Danish Vikings were particularly interested in gaining control of land and establishing themselves as rulers in the areas they conquered. Not everyone on the coast of Britain was afraid of the Vikings. While many feared their attacks, others saw an opportunity. Some local leaders even teamed up with the Vikings, using their strength and skills to gain power in their own regions. The Vikings were not just raiders. They were also traders and settlers, and some Britons formed alliances with them for mutual benefit. These partnerships helped the Vikings gain a foothold in Britain, and over time, some of them became part of the local communities they had once raided.